Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Steven. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. I will get to as soon as I possibly can, so thank you for that. And this is for The Pact, a 2012 film starring Katie Lotz, who I remember she was in this film called The Machine from 2013, which overall I did like. I thought it was a lot better than Ex Machina, because that one get all the pass and the praise, but The Machine, similar, but I just liked the way the story and the acting was done in that movie more. So I'm like, oh cool, the girl starred in that, starred in this. I've seen the cover of this film before, and I might have seen this film back in the day when I worked at the video store, but I don't remember. I don't remember a whole lot about it. Now, this film I thought was alright. At the end of the day, I thought this film was fine. Overall, I didn't mind it. It's a small, quaint, mystery, supernatural, tad bit of horror. And it's a film that I thought was okay. In particular because of Katie Lotz as Annie, our lead. I thought she did a very capable job. I liked her. I thought her reactions seemed very natural. She had enough tenacity, but not one note, bitchy type or needed attitude adjustment type. The setup of the film is she has a sister named Nicole. They're talking on the phone. Nicole is there at their mom's place because the mom has passed away. Our lead Annie, which I'll just say her character name, not her real name, but Katie Lotz is Annie. She doesn't want to be there. She's like, I'm not going there because don't you remember what mom did to us? And she definitely has some angst and some anger towards that. But Nicole says, it's still our mom, come over here, we got to get set up for the funeral. Meanwhile, Nicole has a daughter who's with, I think it's their cousin. And as Nicole is trying to talk to this laptop, the daughter says, "Who's that behind you?" And she turns, opens up the door, it's dark, she goes in, and then cut to our lead Annie. I forget how long, I think days later, she's there, but Nicole is gone. So now she's looking for a missing sister, at times talking with her cousin who's got the sister's daughter. At one point the cousin and her sister's daughter stay there, but then Annie's dragged around by this invisible force. The cousin goes missing. She rescues her daughter's she rescues her sister's daughter, escapes, but of course goes to the cops, which is Casper Van Dien as a detective, and of course they don't believe her, and he doesn't believe her. In fact, he thinks she had something to do with it. So she decides to stay and figure out what happened to her sister, what happened to her cousin, what's going on, what's happening. And it becomes a bit of a mystery. There's photos she finds. There's blurry figures of women she sees in photos. There's these weird dreams she has of this guy crying. There's this friend she knew who's a blind psychic. Gets her in there with her brother who comes along or gets some information. And the story goes on from there. As it's a slow burn movie trying to figure out what happened to the aforementioned people, Nicole and the cousin. Now, like I said, I think the acting, in particular Katie Lotz, she does a very, like I said, capable job, natural job. I thought her reaction seemed justified for the most part. The way it's directed isn't too shabby. Sometimes they try to do a jump scare. Like there's a bit where there's a camera, and then the camera goes this to reveal a figure, which could have been effective, but then they put this loud, sound effect, which I'm like, I actually think if you slowly turn the camera and you reveal the shadow in the corner, watching, I think that would have been creepier, more effective, not bing! It's like, okay, you're trying for a cheap jump scare, whatever. I would say, though, the mystery was somewhat interesting to see. It was interesting to see, for the most part, where this was leading up to. I mean, Casper Van Dien, his character is pretty much pointless. And his voice is definitely a bit more gruffer than usual. I'm not a big Casper Van Dien guy. I never have been. I like Starship Troopers, but it's not because of the actors. I did Casper Van Dien. I thought he sucked in Python. I thought he's whatever in this. I'm not a Casper Van Dien fan. I'm not. I mean, I'll take him over some other people, sure. So he's not the worst. But it's not like I see him on the cast call and go, yay! I just, and again, his cop character is fairly pointless. I don't even know why he's in the movie. Because he doesn't really accomplish anything. He doesn't help out. He doesn't solve anything. So it's like, why is he even in the movie? I just, for one thing only, which I'll get to that in a few minutes. But yeah, it's mainly the slow burn of this girl getting these clues. She sent this address. She doesn't know why or who sent this address. Goes there. Finds out who's contacting her in the spirit realm. It's hard to go into that without spoilers. The cover, I always remember the cover over there because it reminds me of the bit in The Frighteners where the ghost is coming out of the wall, but that never happens in the movie. None of that happens in the film, so bit misleading. It's nothing too elaborate on special effects or anything. It's mainly you see a shadow or one effect. I thought one that was a pretty good reveal when the psychic lady and the lead and the psychic lady's brother are in this room and there's a reveal. I thought the reveal was actually pretty decent. Where he's leading up to, like I said, I think what it is at the end of the day, before I get into spoilers, because it's hard to talk about this without spoiling it. It felt like a little quaint mystery movie. It's pretty simple. It wasn't too much of a hodgepodge of different subplots going on. Capable lead. I liked her persona, her presence. I liked her vibe. The mystery was interesting enough to see where this was going, and I just went along for the ride. This is not a film I would rewatch. This is not a film I would call an underrated gem. But no, it was okay. It was alright. I didn't mind it. To get more into spoilers, one of the things is her and the cop find this hidden room. More, she finds this hidden room where she opens up this wall and there's a door and opens and there's a hidden room where there's all these little peepholes that go to other places of the house. Also, we find out that the spirit in the house is not a villain, it is a victim who is trying to contact and warn. So, for example, they get the psychic lady there, and when they look up, they kind of look up and there's a woman floating above them. I think because that one was a bit more effective because they didn't go for the over top stinger, the pew, that sound effect. So it was just the oh shit, that type of thing. It was like a more. I thought it was just a better reveal that didn't feel as cheap, didn't feel as manipulated. And then when the lead gets a good look at her, she goes, "Wait, that's not my mom," because she thought the spear was her mom, but it's not. And then finds out that that's a victim of this killer called the Judas Killer. And then spoilers, you find out eventually after her investigating and going to his address and look up who the victim was and what her name was and what group she was a part of. The mom somewhat knew this person, as well as the mom's brother, the uncle of our main character, and he's the killer. And you even find out that apparently he's been living under the house the whole time, and in the hidden room he'll sneak out to grab stuff from the fridge and sneak back in. And apparently the mom's was hiding him the whole time here, until of course recently she's passed away. And that fills in the gaps of just this creepy backstory where that means this brother character was staring peepholes throughout the whole time, including staring to the kids' rooms, among other stuff. And I don't know if they tried to hint that maybe there was some kind of... No, I guess they didn't really try to hint on some kind of sexual thing going on. Like grooming, I guess not, like without their knowledge. Casper Van Dien is such a useless cop. He does nothing. He does nothing to offer help. Doesn't help at all. It's just he goes back to the house by himself to take pictures. He turns. He gets stabbed in the neck. And I was saying probably the one useful thing he does is to show what the killer's capable of. Because we haven't seen the killer kill someone yet. We hear about it, but this is the one time we see it. Which is a knife to the neck. Done practically, to be fair, not a bad effect. Ultimately, the lead girl, after the psychic girl, the whole shenanigan, and then the cop is now missing. Our lead calls the psychic girl, and she goes, "If you want to take this all the way, get a Ouija board." The lead girl does, able to contact the spirit, get her answers, and then find out that the killer lives under the house. And I don't know, the way it was shot, I didn't mind. I didn't mind her reactions of like hiding behind and seeing him crawl out. Very like kind of a bald, skinnier guy. Looked like a meth head, to be honest. Then she goes down these stairs. Just she turns and looks like where the guy came out of, and there's Casper's body. I would say this is the other thing he was useful for. He was useful to be a dead body, so that could be a gun, so she could get the gun against the back. So that's his one useful thing, is to be a dead prop for her to get the gun. So okay, so he's not useless. He was only useful in death. I didn't mind the bit where she climbs down and then it's so dark she has like a lighter or something, and then this is where she finds her sister. I think because it just felt very claustrophobic. Sorry about that. Damn. Just felt very claustrophobic. Damn, I don't know what it is. I apologize. And that's annoying. Coughing up. But yeah, I thought that scene just had a nice claustrophobic feel to it. Like I said, it's a pretty short film, hour and 20-some minutes, and they say it is a slow burn, so it's I wouldn't say it's the most original movie either. There's not a lot of, like, you only see one death scene. Well, I guess technically two, I guess, with the killer. So, I mean, there's not a lot of action. Even the spooky shenanigans, I wouldn't say there's a... I mean, there's some nice physical bits where our lead gets dragged around. I thought that was handled fairly well and competent. Whether it's wire work, I would assume wire work, however they did it, where she's being thrown about. You know, some nice stunt work and practicality to that. Again, this, I guess, just the mystery of the story I didn't mind for what it was. Is it quaint? Yeah, nothing too overbearing or egregious. She tries to use the gun, but she doesn't quite know how to use a gun, so she gets knocked out. She wakes up. She has a coat hanger, defends herself. I like the idea that when she stabs, the coat hanger is like in the side. It's not all the time you see a coat hanger embedded in someone in that way. I always leave a coat hanger like poking Michael Myers in the eye like Halloween, but here it's kind of impaled. And I like the idea that her hair has been caught because the killer put it that way, so she's got to take a knife and cut her hair off. And it's this thing of who's going to get there first. Is he going to get the coat hanger first, or is she going to cut her hair first? Which, I mean, is painful as well, because you don't be yanking on it and stuff. So that's a nice bit of suspense, this race against who's going to get there first. I thought it was an interesting aspect that the ghost helps out, where the ghost literally like drags her to the gun, and then she grabs the gun and kills the guy. But it does offer a lot of questions of, wait a minute, why didn't the ghost do some of this to begin with? For example, if the ghost is picking her up and slamming her all around, why doesn't the ghost do that to the killer? Why didn't the ghost do that to the killer before the killer killed the cop? Pit the guy up, slam him left, up, down the center. If it did that, then Casper Van Dien would see it, get his gun out, arrest him, or something. So, Miss Ghost, was it Jennifer Gillette, or the victim, you fucked up. Or maybe you don't like Casper Van Dien like I do, and you want him to die. I don't know, but hey, Miss Ghost, you like slamming the girl around? Why don't you slam this guy around? Oh, what the fuck? Casper Van Dien got the gun. What the fuck was that? Oh, you got a knife in your hand, we'll shoot you in the face. So, for some reason, the ghost doesn't help Casper Van Dien and lets the guy kill him. You didn't try to help the girl earlier. You didn't try to help her out of the fucking closet. Or, I don't know, slam the door shut and the guy can't open it up. Or moves the knife into her hand or something. The ghost just wants to pick and choose what the fuck he wants to do, apparently. And when to help and not to help. So, I'm like, screw you. I don't need to help your ass. You want to move me around and beat me up? Why don't you beat him up? He's the one who killed you. So it leaves a lot of questions like that where... Why? Huh? But I think the actress, I just really liked her, and I was invested to see how it was going to turn out for her. And at the end, she takes custody of her sister's kid. And nice little montage of them didn't know each other. For some reason, they add this bit at the end where she's sleeping, and then we cut to like going to the hidden room and the peephole, and we see his eye. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's meant to imply his spirit? Or something of that nature? I don't know. But I do know there's a sequel, which I'll get to next time. Spoiler, it's shit. But this one, I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. That was alright. But I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, where it's this kind of mystery unfolding, finding hidden rooms. Even like, what was it, the remake of the Toolbox Murders? Kind of did that too, and I actually don't mind that movie. I liked it a lot more than the original Toolbox, because I think the original Toolbox Murders kind of sucks. I actually like the remake. I don't think the remake... I didn't think it was that bad. But anyway. Yeah. Didn't mind for what it was. Part of me kind of wished something from the poster was actually in the movie, but it's not. I mean, granted, I guess it would have looked like an iffy CGI effect, so maybe for the best it's not in it, but I don't know. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Sorry if it didn't seem like I sold you on this one, but it wasn't that bad. I don't think it was that bad of a movie. It was, you know, it was a time waster at least. So we'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.